Hello, everybody, and welcome to another NintendoFuse Game Chat, where today we're talking all about Scarlet Tower. Scarlet Tower is an action RPG survival wave-based game in lieu of like Vampire Survivors. I don't know if there's really a title for this genre yet. It's by Pyxeralia, and it came out May the 23rd this week as of the recording of this. And this game gives you a ton of heroes with unique weapons, abilities, talents, over 70 different weapons, tons of different enemies, bosses, and a lot to unlock in your journey and trying to survive and get yourself stronger. And I don't know if you guys have played wave type RPGs before, but Greg, let's go with you. What are your thoughts?
This isn't usually a type of RPG that I play a lot, but what I did play was actually pretty enjoyable. So like you're like this, you get to pick your first hero. Like at the beginning, you only get to choose between two different heroes. Like one more magic based, and I believe the other one's like a necromancer. And then you can pretty much just like you pretty much can move around like any different direction that you want, and pretty much just swarms of enemies just kind of try to chase you down and knock you out. So pretty much you have different attacks. You have a few like escape option, like to turn into like a bat or whatever to like move briefly and get away from the enemies as swiftly as possible. But other than that, it's pretty much straightforward where you're just automatically targeting the closest enemy to you and then trying to stay on your feet, moving away from them as you take down them and all the enemies that are trying to swarm in on you. So that's basically the very gist of it. And I thought it was actually pretty fun and engaging. And after every so often, you get to level up with experience and get to pick of between one of three different skills, and then even those get further upgrades like down the line. So you can like do more damage or add in a few extra weapon attacks or reduce your cooldown timer. So all types of different effects that help you stay alive longer. So I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good experience for me. What about you, Steve?
I have mixed feelings about this game. I think the concept is really fun, and I think like I love twin stick shooters, which I've talked about before, like on the podcast and stuff. And so this is basically at its core a twin stick shooter that's also an RPG, and so I like the action side of it. The parts of the RPG kind of get confusing. But before any of that, I've said this before again on other games and stuff. I don't like that there's a cursor. I wish that I could just navigate this menu with just, highlighting what I want to do and just move around the menu like a regular, modern video game. But the fact that it has a cursor and the fact that like even bumping it up the fast you can, it doesn't move nearly as fast as I want it to move. So navigating the menus and stuff is a little bit of a pain. Even scrolling on different stuff is kind of a pain. It's not consistent. Sometimes you have the cursor over any part of that window and you can use the right stick to move up and down. But then if you're going to try to do, I think it's one of the upgrades, you have to be specifically on the bar itself on the right side in order to move up and down with the right stick. So that was a little annoying. There was one time where you get enough blue energy to kind of upgrade, or you get a card to upgrade something or whatever, and I forgot that there was a cursor, and I just hit the A button, and whatever I was on at that time is what I selected. I have no idea what it was. So there's times where I wish there were some things that like, do you want to confirm your selection? That would have been nice, because there's parts that I don't think they're going to offer me to confirm, and so I've not even upgraded things because I don't know what they do. And so here's my in summary, my experience with the actual game is really fun, and I played a lot more than I thought I would, but navigating the menus and figuring out all the behind the scenes stuff is kind of a pain. So that's my summary right now.
That's fair. Yeah, the game itself is, I've never played one of these type of games, and I never saw the appeal originally. I was like, all right, whatever. It's like 30-minute runs. I'm more for the longer RPGs. And then I played this, and I got addicted really quickly. It hooked me the first time I got 30 minutes. I got the Reaper, and I was like, wow, that was my first run, and I hit the. Now I want to beat him. Now I want to go past, and the bosses, which is something they're unique and they're challenging, and you have that ring that goes around you and that panic, like, oh my god, can I break out? And I love how each of the characters, like I started unlocking different characters, and that's the cool thing. You could spend all your points to upgrade one character, or you can try unlocking more and see how they play. And I was playing different ones. I was like, oh, this one plays completely different, and it gave me almost a completely different game. And I like how there's like random quests you can find like in the middle of playing, and I was like, there was a lot more to this than I was like, oh, this waves. There's nothing to a game, and wow.
Yeah.
And I've heard that this is kind of like a modern day arcade, really, if you think about it, like a modern day arcade game, with depth, because there's all the upgrades you can do, and there's permanent upgrades. So it's kind of roguelike in that sense, but because there's these permanent upgrades, it really doesn't feel roguelike. It's like,
Right.
oh, no, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go again. And I'm surprised too that the Switch was able to handle that many particles going off at once, like all those enemies.
Sometimes it can.
Yeah, it does teeter a bit, but
Yeah.
it handles it a lot better than I would expect it to.
Yeah.
Which is saying something because and
Yeah.
I'm sure on the Switch too it's going to be even better. But the fact that it does handle it is impressive
Hmm.
because there's a lot of stuff going on. Like there's way more enemies than I would expect, and like I was shooting fireballs and swords and weapons, like all these things all at the same time, and it's all spinning around me. I'm like, holy crap! It's sometimes got lost with my character, and I would just use like the bat kind of deal to just to find where I am and get out of dodge. But I just kept going back, and I
Yeah.
couldn't explain. Just one more run, one more. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another. Oh, I'm so close to an upgrade I want. Let's go one more run so I can get that before turning in.
Yeah.
So it's very, very addictive. Did you guys? I see you nodding, Steve. Do you have the same type of
Yeah.
effects?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, we've talked multiple times, like on our podcast and other places, how much both of us do not like roguelikes at all. And so I was afraid at the beginning if that's all it was, because I played through, and I think I died when the Reaper came out, and I'm like, okay, like I've got to start this all over again. I put in like 20 minutes into this thing and it killed me. Okay, I guess we'll start over again. I'll try another character. And then I realized that you can upgrade and everything. And then some of those, like the stuff that you get in the game while you're during gameplay, is not static. But the stuff that you upgrade behind the scenes does stay with you. And it's like, okay, I can get behind this. And that's what kept driving me and wanting to play more and more and more. And I finally found a character that I really liked. And I was able to upgrade a lot of stuff and spend all my gold, and finally got pretty powerful. And then I was trying to basically just kind of upgrade as much as I could, and played several hours. Like I said, I intended to just play a couple rounds, and the next thing I know, I was playing like 5, 6, 7, something like that rounds earlier today. And I think the confusing part is that, like, in addition to what I've talked about already, I don't know how to progress, because it's not letting me know enough, because I know there's other maps, and it says something like unlocks when you defeat blank at blank, but I have no idea how to get blank at blank. Like, I just know I go back into the same exact map over and over and over again, and I'm getting better at it, and I'm getting faster at it, and I'm able to find the little helpers, and I've unlocked them, and they're helping me now, and I've all those different things, but I have no idea how to unlock more of the game beyond what I've done so far, because it's not very clear. So I'm enjoying what I'm playing, but I have a feeling I'm playing like 15-20% of this game, because I have no idea how to unlock anything else.
Yeah, the menus definitely could use a little bit of work, because even like they're presenting you all these different upgrade options, and you're trying to figure out like which one is obviously the best. And then like some of them are already going to like a level 2 or level 3 version, and they're also throwing like a new skill at you. So it's like, well, is it better just to keep upgrading ones you've already had, or do you just keep selecting new ones? Do you like infinite amounts of skills? Like I feel like there
That's
could
your
be
play
some better.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no
So
right or wrong answer to that.
Right. I've just honed in on one character and just upgraded it, and then done some general upgrades as well. Like got all the faster movement and faster regeneration of health and stuff like that I've done. But I've just kind of picked one character and kind of try to upgrade him as much as possible. But yeah, I know there's other maps, but I have no idea how to get to them.
But
Yeah.
I'm sure the secrets are out there. I'm sure if someone, Dr. Google would always have the answer,
I'm
right?
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this game, like I said, it just came out. There's a lot of replayability to it, and there is a big DLC content update that is coming early next month, early June. That is going to be called Ashen Nightmare. That is also going to the Switch. I'm not sure how much additional it is going to be, but Scarlet Tower right now, it's $4.99 digitally, and there's also the physical version on premiumeditiongames.com that you can get the standard and the retro edition to preserve this physically, and that will also include Ashen Nightmare on the cart. So we'll go to you first, Greg. $4.99 or the physical, either one. Is this something you would recommend people pick up?
It is. I would say people like fans like RPGs or even like the twin stick shooter type arcade like game style gameplay. I think that would be perfect, and it's not like it's for $5. It's easily there. Or if you're a physical collector, then be sure to get it from Premium Edition. But I would say unless you don't really like those two kinds of elements, then it obviously wouldn't be the best for you right there. But for me personally, I do like those, so it is an easy recommend for me.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree as well. Yeah, I think it's a fun game. I think they could use some work on the back end of keeping things smooth, I guess, in terms of the menu system, what to do, how to do it, and all that stuff. But the gameplay itself is very addictive and totally drew me in. And for $5 for digital download, that's a steal. And physical being available, that's awesome as well. And with more content, more characters, more maps, all those things are going to be great. I just hope I figure out how to get to those maps to enjoy them as well. But yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it could use some work, but I think if the developers are continuing to work on it and continue to release DLC and stuff like that, that sounds like a good deal moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a game that we fell in love with, and I fell in love with back when it was on Steam, and I fell in love with it again on the Switch. It's just addicting. It's just so much fun. There's a lot of content there. There's more content than you would expect, because there's more content than we expected just going into like, oh, it's just going to be like an arcade twin stick shooter RPG kind of deal. But no, there's a lot to this game, and there's a lot of upgrades, a lot of characters, and every character is a different play. So you can really get a lot out of this. So again, digitally $4.99 on the eShop. The physical is available right now to pre-order at premiumeditiongames.com. And we want to thank you to the developers for providing us codes for the review purposes. And for other videos like this, other game chats, as well as our podcast, as well as industry talks and other great Nintendo content, go to NintendoFuse.com or right here, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and everybody have a great day.